I was one of the first people doing faceless content on YouTube, back in 2016, way before AI, way before all these tools. I started with stock footage, just grabbing clips, stitching them together, hoping the algorithm didn't kill me. And honestly, a lot of those early videos flopped, hard, but I kept going. Fast forward to today, I've got 4 faceless channels. And across those channels, combining everything, I've made $2.396 million. That's not a brag, that's just the data. Millions of views, years of trial and error, and a lot of mistakes I don't want you to make. So I created this channel, Michael Explains YouTube, and the goal is simple. I'm here to help creators who have the passion, who want to excel on this platform, but genuinely don't know how to navigate the minefield. I'm going to explain YouTube in a way that actually sticks. And if you just pay attention, really pay attention, you will excel with the information I'm sharing. Let's go! In 2022, an estimated 5 billion people engaged with the World Cup across all media, with the final alone watched by 1.4 billion viewers, roughly 1 in every 5 humans on the planet. In 2026, with FIFA expanding the tournament from 32 to 48 teams, and 48 nations now competing, those numbers will be even bigger. And here is the detail that changes everything. For the first time, the World Cup is being hosted by North America, home to the highest-paying audience demographic on YouTube. Millions of casual North American viewers who have never watched a match will suddenly become curious. They will flood YouTube looking for explainers, highlights, and stories. So here's the question every creator is asking. Can I build a channel around the 2026 World Cup without getting destroyed by copyright claims? The answer is yes. But 90% of the channels you see popping up overnight will fail, not because they lack talent, but because they fundamentally misunderstand how YouTube's copyright enforcement works against sports content. Today, I am going to show you exactly how FIFA has wired the 2026 World Cup to protect its content, how YouTube's Content ID system will hunt your videos, and the only 4 ways to monetize World Cup content without losing your channel. Stick around until the end, because the creators who follow this roadmap will own assets that pay them for years after the final whistle blows. Part 2, the opportunity. What the FIFA-YouTube partnership actually means for you. You have heard that YouTube is now a preferred platform for the 2026 World Cup. Let me translate what that actually means. FIFA Secretary General Matthias Grafstrom officially announced in March 2026 that YouTube would partner with FIFA to provide audiences more ways to enjoy the tournament. This innovative agreement has 3 components that matter to creators. First, media partners, the official broadcasters holding World Cup rights, can now live stream the first 10 minutes of every match on their YouTube channels. They can also publish extended highlights, behind-the-scenes footage, shorts, and video-on-demand content. Second, the digital archive. FIFA is unlocking its vault of full-length past matches, classic moments, and historic footage on its official YouTube channel. Third, a global cohort of YouTube creators, and this is the part you care about, will receive unprecedented access to match footage and tournament content. According to FIFA's announcement, this includes human stories, tactical breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes action. But here's the catch that changes everything. That creator access is not universal. FIFA says it will grant a select group of YouTube creators broad access to the tournament. For the rest of the creator ecosystem, which includes you, unless you have been personally contacted by FIFA, the rules are completely different. FIFA has made this distinction abundantly clear. They have established strict regulatory guidelines limiting the distribution of tournament-related content by fans, businesses, media outlets, and commercial establishments starting June 11th, 2026. Any broadcast, retransmission, or commercial use of images, videos, audio, or protected elements of the championship requires an official license. So if you do not have an official license, your content is walking a very thin line. And non-compliance can result in financial penalties, suspension of digital accounts, seizure of equipment, and even prison sentences depending on the legislation in each country. That is the official policy. But the real enforcement happens on YouTube, not in a courtroom. Part 3, the trap. How YouTube copyright enforcement actually works against football content. Many creators think, I will just use short clips. I am transforming the footage. I will be fine. Let me show you the numbers that prove otherwise. First, understand the difference between a Content ID claim and a copyright strike, because the YouTube dashboard does not explain this clearly. A Content ID claim occurs when YouTube's automated matching system detects copyrighted material in your video. This usually results in the rights holder taking your ad revenue, blocking your video in certain regions, or tracking its analytics. Content ID claims do not give your channel a strike, and in most cases, your channel's standing remains intact. A copyright strike is issued when a rights holder formally notifies YouTube that their content has been used without permission. If YouTube confirms the claim, you receive a strike. 3 unresolved strikes within a 90-day window, your channel is terminated. And here's the part creators do not think about until it is too late. YouTube also terminates channels linked to one that receives 3 strikes. So one channel in your network can bring down others. Now, watch what happens specifically with football content. Part 4, the real-world evidence. 4 copyright strikes in one day. In October 2025, a sports channel received 4 copyright strikes in a single day from UEFA and the Premier League. 14 of the channel's 33 videos were removed. The creator filed counter notifications, explaining that they used limited portions of game footage while adding commentary, text, music, effects, and creative pacing. They argued fair use. Here is what the lawyer told them. Both UEFA and the Premier League are extremely strict about the use of their game footage, even in edited or transformative formats. These organizations generally claim full rights over any broadcasted match footage, regardless of how it is used. And here is the brutal truth of that case. Even after filing counter notifications, the channel's videos remained subject to removal. The creators were advised to permanently delete the infringing material and pivot entirely to sports commentary that does not rely on copyrighted footage. That is not an outlier. That is the standard enforcement pattern for major football rights holders. According to First Touch Online, football is one of the most copyrighted categories on YouTube. Major leagues, broadcasters, and production partners protect match footage heavily, and YouTube's detection systems are designed to identify it quickly. Even if a video remains visible for weeks, enforcement can happen later when rights holders focus their attention. The Premier League has already sent takedown notices to YouTube for more than 30,000 infringing videos. This is not a theoretical risk. It is active, ongoing, and aggressive. Part 5. The fair use fallacy. Why it won't save you. This brings us to the most dangerous myth in the creator economy. The belief that fair use will protect your channel if you add commentary or editing to copyrighted football clips. Let me be absolutely clear about what fair use actually is. Fair use is a legal doctrine under U.S. copyright law that allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the owner. But YouTube itself does not enforce a fair use policy. YouTube merely provides systems for copyright holders to claim content and for creators to dispute claims. Whether something qualifies as fair use is determined by courts, not by YouTube. U.S. courts assess fair use using 4 factors: purpose and character of the use. Transformative uses like commentary, criticism, or parody are more likely to qualify, while simply reusing content for entertainment is much less likely. Nature of the copyrighted work. Creative works like sports broadcasts receive strong protection compared to factual footage. Amount and substantiality. Even short clips can infringe if they capture the heart of the work, like a goal or penalty. Effect on the market. If your use could replace the original or harm its commercial value, it is unlikely to be considered fair use. Now apply those 4 factors to a typical football highlights channel. You are using a highly creative broadcasted match. You are using the most exciting moments, the heart of the work. And you are creating content that could replace viewers' desire to watch the official highlights. 3 out of 4 factors are working against you before you even start editing, and the legal experts are unanimous on this point. According to multiple copyright attorneys, fair use is a legal defense, not a YouTube rule. YouTube almost always sides with the copyright holder. If you want to challenge a claim, you need to be ready to lawyer up. For a creator still waiting to monetize their channel, that is not a sustainable business model. That is a gamble with your entire channel's future. Part 6. The danger zones. 3 actions that will get you terminated. Based on YouTube's policies and real enforcement patterns, here are 3 specific actions that will put your channel at immediate risk during the World Cup. Action number 1. Uploading full match clips without licensing. Uploading a clip that shows a goal sequence, penalty, or continuous play from any World Cup match without official rights. FIFA has made it clear that sharing goals, plays, penalties, or continuous game action is not permitted for unauthorized users. This is the fastest way to accumulate copyright strikes. Action number 2. Relying on fair use without legal backup. Assuming that adding commentary, slow motion, or background music transforms the footage sufficiently. As the UEFA case demonstrated, major rights holders do not recognize most channel-level edits as transformative. Even when creators win fair use arguments, they have to litigate to do so, not something a pre-monetization channel can afford. Action number 3. Building your channel on a borrowed foundation. Creating a library of 50, 100, or 200 World Cup highlight videos, each using match footage you do not own. A video can survive for days, weeks, or months before enforcement hits. But when a rights holder decides to enforce, they can remove your entire catalog at once. That is not a channel. That is a demolition waiting to happen. And the scale of YouTube enforcement is staggering. In the third quarter of 2025 alone, YouTube removed over 7.45 million channels. That is nearly 7.5 million channels in 90 days. Not all of those were copyright related, but the point is clear. YouTube does not hesitate to terminate accounts that violate its policies. Part 7. The Survival Guide. 4 ways to monetize the World Cup without owning the footage. Now for the good news. There are creators who will build sustainable World Cup channels in 2026, and you can be one of them. The key is this. You do not need to own the footage. You just need to own the perspective. Here is the survival guide. Step number 1. Build around stories, not footage. The channels that survive enforcement waves do not lead with clips. They lead with narrative. Instead of showing a goal, ask why it matters. Instead of replaying a match, analyze the tactics using custom graphics, or tell the human story of a player's journey from their hometown to the World Cup stage. Step number 2. Replace match clips with AI-generated or original visuals. You can use tools to create cinematic match reenactments, tactical diagrams, or animated player profiles. The footage you create yourself cannot be claimed by FIFA. This shifts your channel from borrowing to owning. Step number 3. Monetize the audience, not the highlights. If your video focuses on football news, player transfers, drama, reactions, fan culture, or tactical breakdowns without continuous match footage, you are operating in a much safer zone. AdSense monetizes these videos. Affiliate links, sponsorships, and digital products monetize your audience. You do not need the goal clip to make money from the fan. Step number 4. Use YouTube's partnership to your advantage. If you are a legitimate media creator, explore the pathway to becoming one of FIFA's approved creator cohort. FIFA has confirmed it will grant a global group of YouTube creators access around the World Cup, including human stories and tactical discussion. That door is open, but you have to walk through it properly, not through copyright evasion. These 4 approaches are not theoretical. Established football creators are already using them to build durable channels that do not disappear when the enforcement wave hits. And there is one final advantage that most creators miss entirely. Part 8. The long game. Why 2026 is about assets, not short-term revenue. The creators who chase the World Cup for 60 days of AdSense revenue are competing in a crowded, high-risk race they are unlikely to win. The creators who treat the World Cup as a launchpad for an evergreen asset, that is where real wealth is built. Recall that case from the UEFA channel. The creator was advised to shift permanently to original sports commentary that avoids copyrighted footage. Those channels are not dead after the tournament ends. They continue to attract viewers who search for Champions League stories, transfer window drama, and player profiles in the months and years that follow. The World Cup is the ignition, but the engine you build, your channel's reputation, your storytelling style, your unique voice, that is what keeps running long after the tournament concludes. Build your channel so that it works whether the match clip is there or not. When you do that, you stop being a borrower and start being a creator. Part 9. The bottom line. What I actually recommend. Here is my recommendation for anyone starting a World Cup channel in 2026. Do not upload match clips unless you have an official license from FIFA or a media partner. Do not assume fair use will protect you. Do not build a library on footage you do not own. Instead, focus on football journalism, cultural storytelling, fan reactions, tactical analysis with custom graphics, player profiles, and behind-the-scenes speculation. Use your own voice, your own visuals whenever possible, and your own perspective. Because if your channel only works because of a match clip, you do not have a channel. You have a temporary video that will eventually be claimed, removed, or struck. 3 strikes in 90 days, that is all it takes. No warnings, no second chances, no grandfather clauses. One enforcement wave and years of work disappear. FIFA has already announced an estimated 5 billion viewers for this tournament. That audience is real. The money is real. But the safest path to that audience is not through copyright evasion. It is through original storytelling that stands on its own whether the match clip is there or not. This is Michael Explains YouTube. Subscribe if you want to understand YouTube, not just use it. And as always, make content that you own, not content that owns you.